Tell me, how can I turn the other cheek while this wicked world trying to smother me? Something gotta shake, I'm gonna cry it out. Time to gird up my loins and ride out. In my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. I said, I don't wanna see no more. And in my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. But I don't wanna see no
UPK.
Yahweh Thumb, Yahweh Shemal Thumb, Hashem Yahshai. This is a priest and officer Kuraya Allah out of Isupk under Commanding General Yohana. We started out since 1969 out of 1 West 125th Street. And we up here in Boston, Massachusetts at the Washington Park Mall. And we're going to interview and get our take on Thanksgiving and see what our people, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, have to say about Thanksgiving. What does Thanksgiving mean to you?
Thanksgiving doesn't mean nothing to me because that's the day that the Native Americans were killed, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. So you know about the history of Thanksgiving. Okay, so why do you think a lot of our people are still celebrating Thanksgiving?
I think it was something that was drilled in our heads. I think some of us just do it just to do it. You know what I mean? Because, we live in a world that don't belong to us, so that's my belief. I think we just do it just because everybody else is doing it. Some of us.
I'm sorry, can you talk up? Can you hear it?
I said, I think the reason why we celebrate it is because that some of us, it's something that we just do because other people is doing it. And it's just a mental thing, I think.
Right, because a lot of us don't know. It's safe to say that a lot of us are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay. Should the so-called Native American Indians should they celebrate Thanksgiving? Do you think they should?
Of course not.
If your ancestors go back to that?
Of course not, they shouldn't. Because first off, this is their country. It was stolen from them. They welcomed the white folks in. And unfortunately, the day that they did a feast for them, that was the day that was murdered.
Right.
In my belief.
Right, because if you look at like the Holocaust with the so-called with the fake Jews, they turn around and they'll even go as far as never buying a German product.
Exactly.
Because of what was done to their people. Exactly. So you agree that because of what was done to our ancestors, our brothers and sisters. Okay, that's good. Are you aware that the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are the same people in history? The Lord's chosen?
I think so.
You think so?
I'm not sure. I don't really know, to be honest.
Okay, because a lot of the Native Indians are Black. They look just like we do. And the Taino Indians, which is also Hispanic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think so.
Okay. And should America? Okay. Will you continue to celebrate knowing the knowledge of Thanksgiving? Will you continue to celebrate that?
No, because as I'm eating the food, I'll feel guilty.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And given
The history of how Thanksgiving was created.
so
I'll feel guilty.
you feel guilty. So you just have a regular meal like it was yesterday or today, so forth. Okay. Okay. Do you think our children should be taught the truth about Thanksgiving at school and at home?
I think they should, but they don't.
Okay, and why is that?
Because we live in a world that comes to the white folks. And it's his story. That means that's his story he's giving our children.
Right.
But they should know the true meaning of Thanksgiving.
So the first question is, what does Thanksgiving mean to you?
Thanksgiving, I mean, I understand that, like what this brother just explained, I understand it was the genocide of the indigenous people. And, but my family, we recognize it just as a time to come together, to be thankful, to appreciate one another. Yeah, and it's just not about like the pilgrims and we're just having a turkey and, you know, like we're not celebrating it for them. We're celebrating it for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second question, do you know why Thanksgiving is celebrated?
Why what?
Do you know why the holiday Thanksgiving is celebrated? This probably goes along the history timeline. Why it's celebrated? You know, the reason.
Yeah. I mean, I know the why is, and what they want us to believe is the pilgrims and the indigenous people like coming together and just celebrating their union. But I know that it wasn't that. You know, I know that I don't know if this is gonna be work, but I don't know. So I know that it was the slaughtering of the people. You know what I mean? It was the taking advantage of like their resources and their land and yeah. So yeah.
Now, that's a good answer. Do you think Thanksgiving should be celebrated by everyone?
Huh. You know, that's a good question because for what it represents in society, I'd probably say no.
Probably say no.
I would, yeah, but I guess it's become such a custom that we're tradition and we do it. But when I really think about, like, I make sure my children know like what Thanksgiving is really about. My husband and I, you know, like we educate them on that. So they're not blind or duped to what, you know, this world, you know, promotes it to be.
Yeah,
but we do still come together and celebrate for each other, you know.
So you're able to look past that.
Exactly.
And just kind of keep the family tradition going.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, should the so-called Native Americans celebrate Thanksgiving?
I don't
Or the
think so.
indigenous people of this land?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't think they do. I mean, I don't know, but they probably feel, I'm sure they feel slighted, like it's a slap in their face, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Because so much it's about what was taken away from them, really, when you think about it. Like, they lost, like, everything.
Yeah. It'd be sort of like along the line of like if black people celebrated a holiday that represented their genocide, like slavery.
Exactly.
All that.
Right.
Now, what about, okay, so are you aware that so-called black people and so-called Hispanic people and so-called indigenous Native Americans are the same people according to history? Same family, same tribe, according to history?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, I do know that. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say so.
Can I show you a book real quick? Salaki, sir. Can I show you a book real quick? It's a very interesting book called The Black Indians. And it's a hidden heritage. And so a lot of times you'll walk around and you'll say, well, this person's probably African American, this person's this, that, and the third. A lot of times there's indigenous people that have history here that are just like me and you, right? And so we're a little bit blindsided by that because we just assume that it's a Native American looks like Pocahontas, what we see on TV.
Yeah.
So this is a very interesting book. It's called The Black Indians that maybe you should look into to understand that we actually celebrate this holiday which represents the genocide of black people. But we don't put it in the forefront of our mind to say that, oh, this holiday is a representation of the slaughter of our people. So this is a real good book, but just two more questions. Should America celebrate the genocide of the Native American Indians and why?
I don't.
I know these are tough questions.
So.
These are tough questions.
Yeah. I don't think so. It's not something to be celebrated at all. It was a massacre. So no, it is not something that should be celebrated. Yet we continue to do so.
Now, when someone says Happy Thanksgiving, does that resonate in your mind as, oh, it's just a day off that I can do with family, Happy Thanksgiving? Or is it just something that we're kind of like trained to respond, Happy Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of the programming that goes on. And people just want to follow the crowd, in a sense, you know what I mean? You don't want to be the only one out there saying, well, you shouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Right.
You'll get chastised for that in America. And the last question, will you continue to celebrate Thanksgiving? By receiving this knowledge, by knowing this knowledge that black people, black Indians, Native Americans were the savages being oppressed by Europeans. Now that is something to go to sleep on and think about, because we never really, it seems like we don't have empathy towards the people that have been slaughtered through genocide.
Yeah.
When you think about Jewish men, 6 million of them were killed in Germany, and we wouldn't dare have a day of the year to celebrate that. So it's in the same notation, if you know what I mean. So I appreciate the interview. It's just something to think about. And reflect with your kids to let you know that these were actually black people that were being murdered, you know, that were through smallpox, they would give blankets with disease blankets to these people. They killed all their food sources, the buffaloes. We should see millions of buffaloes running around right now. They killed all that, so it's just something to reflect on.
So when you say black Indians, people from Africa, were they mixed?
I'll tell you something. When we gave this slide to you, right? If you look here, and earlier I mentioned that, are you aware that black people, or so-called black people, so-called Hispanic people, and so-called Native Indians are really all one family? And how were we able to come to this conclusion? Well, in the Bible, it mentions 12 tribes. And that they would be scattered all across the planet. So when we think about the history of the so-called Native Indians, you notice that in their history they wore fringes. That's something that's very biblical, in a sense. And it goes thousands of years that our people have always wore fringes. And so when you look at it, it'll say, I'll give you an example, it'll say Gad, North American Indians. Well, Gad is a people in the Bible, right? Reuben, Seminole Indians, those are people in the Bible. The mystery is, where are those people today? Who are those people? So if you carefully study the Bible and understand that this family right here, they're located in Haiti today. They're located in the Dominican Republic today. They're located in Puerto Rico, South America, North America. The problem is that their oppressors stripped away their culture and identity and gave them their language, culture, and a new identity, which is why people don't know who they really are. So this is why they call me, my last name's Pierre. That's French, a white French man's last name.
Exactly.
Gonzalez. So when we tie history together, we start to realize that the people that they call the so-called Native Indians were actually the people that were in the Bible. And that's why we say our people. Now they're living in reservations. And Mexicans are living in barrios when California was a Mexican land. Right? And Europeans slaughtered, all the Mexicans in the West Coast. Pushed them towards Mexico, Central America. So there's a bloody and savage history that we have to be mindful of every time eating that turkey. Understand that we are part of that system now because we accept the genocide. So that's really what that is. So you got the flyer. You can always look that up. These names are in the Bible. Problem is that people in 2021 don't know who these people are. And we're out here to tell our people that we're the ones that were in that Bible. We're the lost tribe that Christ was talking about. And you'll get a better understanding when you start to see the poverty and the oppression that our people go through. And we still go through today. But check this book out. It's a good book.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate it because when Thanksgiving comes, like we talk about it, like why we shouldn't even be celebrating Thanksgiving, but we continue to celebrate.
You know what it is? Black people love food. Any place where there's food, black people are there. They don't even know what the party's about.
I know. Right?
They're just gonna be there. There's food, I'll be there. So you really become desensitized to violence, especially through a savage way of slaughtering millions of people whose bones we walk on every day. You know what I mean? So every time you walk in the streets of America, just know that it's been paid by their blood, and it allows you to see what you see today, this empire that you see today, that was basically stolen. You know what I mean? Think about that. All right? Thank you, sis, for your time.
You're welcome. Where will this video be? Like on your website or something?
It's going to be on YouTube, One West Boston YouTube, One West Connecticut YouTube. Actually, what's the Connecticut page? Oh, you talk. It's going to be on.
It's on the flyer. We teach classes on history of our people, which is why we like to get a better understanding of how our people think, and maybe have them consider the things that they do and how it affects other people who have been at disadvantage towards the situations, especially dealing with our oppressors or Europeans, and how they came with a conquer and divide mentality. So that's something that we have to keep in the forefront of our mind.
For the history of the Native Indians here, right? So I want to ask you this, right? What does Thanksgiving mean to you?
Family getting together.
We have very few times nowadays in the year where family gets to meet each other.
Right.
That's
all about family love.
Absolutely. Do you know why Thanksgiving is celebrated?
To give thanks to
Do you think Thanksgiving should be celebrated by everybody?
Yes.
All right. Why?
Because everybody needs to give thanks to something.
So the Native American Indian, right, celebrates Thanksgiving?
Should they?
Yes. Do you know the history of Thanksgiving? You do? Give me a quick synopsis, if you can. If you got. Okay, can you do it in 30 seconds?
No.
Okay, all right. Okay, no problem, right? But we understand that the Thanksgiving is based on the genocide of the Native Indians. Okay, all right, no problem, right? Are you aware that so-called black people, right? They live in America, right? Hispanics and Native Indians are the same race of people.
Yes and no.
Okay, have you ever heard it before? Okay, what made you say yes?
Huh?
What made you say yes?
Because we're all Americans. We're all human.
Okay, race goes according to lineage and homeland, right? And a little bit of history of how we came here and where you came from, right? So you were a Chinese person, or not exactly, you don't share the same heritage, you don't share the same traditions, right? But history says that Latinos, the so-called Negroes in America and the Native Indians do share a lineage and history as well as traditions, right? Right?
You gotta go. I'm on time limit right now.
So we're going to go right now, right?
Okay.
Right? Okay. So now, should America celebrate the genocide of the original inhabitants of this land here? If you was to find out what Thanksgiving is really about, right? If you find out it was a bad thing, right? Would you continue to celebrate it with the knowledge that your people were savages by slaughter by the colonizers?
Yep.
All right? So that children need to taught the truth about Thanksgiving. All right, well, thank you for your time.
Appreciate that. Okay. First question. What does Thanksgiving mean to you?
It means that the fact is I'm thankful for all the good that can happen to me and the family.
So you're saying you're thankful for the good things that happen to you and your family? Okay. Okay.
How about you?
Well, I have a different viewpoint on that, but I'm going to get to that and then you'll see why, okay? Do you know why Thanksgiving is celebrated?
I celebrate because I'm thankful for the Lord to give me an opportunity to live and take care of my family.
Okay. So I'm going to just give you a little take on Thanksgiving and what it's about. Thanksgiving was the slaughter of 700 million North American Indians, Taino Indians as well. That's part of our people, 12 tribes, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. That's in the Bible. And that was a genocide that was put upon our people, our ancestors. So it's being celebrated on the blood of our ancestors. So the next question I'm gonna ask you is, do you think Thanksgiving should be celebrated by everyone?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
And why?
Because each individual has things to be thankful for. Now, people that believe in the law is one thing, people that do not believe is another thing. I'm going to get into it too deep. And I'm thankful that the Lord gave me the opportunity.
So you don't feel the ways that your ancestors were slaughtered and that this is a day that's being celebrated on the slaughter of your ancestors?
I'm not saying that.
Okay, what are you saying?
I'm saying how I feel of that question.
Right. About
You're right.
celebrating.
You're right to a point. But see, each one of us have the things to be thankful for, if you so desire to go that way.
Okay. Now, are you aware that the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is all one nation, the 12 tribes?
I do not know the complete all that.
Okay.
I'm just being frank with you.
No, I appreciate that. No, and this is just to find out and talk to you on the knowledge that it's not to make you feel bad. You don't know that I know. I'm just interviewing just to get people's take on what they think of it. So, if you don't know, and that's fine. We all don't know everything, you know. So, okay. So do you think America should celebrate today? Thanksgiving? Do you think, knowing that it's the genocide of the North American Indians?
From that point here, it's up to you, the way you feel about it. I feel that, number one, like I said before, my family and the way I feel is going. I do not justify how the Indians were treated. Okay? No.
Okay. And I'm gonna ask you one more question. Should our children be taught the truth about Thanksgiving in schools and at home?
Yeah. And the families should teach them what's been going on right in the law.
Okay. All right. I appreciate your time. Okay. I'm Officer Karaya Allah out of Isupk. You got the flyer here? Check it out and learn. How you doing, brother? Okay, I'm gonna ask you a few questions about Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Okay. What does Thanksgiving mean to you?
Honestly, I don't celebrate it. It's a pagan holiday. I celebrate just eating. I like just being with the family eating.
Okay. Okay. And do you know why Thanksgiving is celebrated?
I mean, other than what they taught us in elementary school and middle school, which was the Pilgrims came over and made peace with the Indians and they broke bread. But we all know that once you get to college, all that changes.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Now, do you think everybody should celebrate Thanksgiving?
I mean, shit, you're entitled to it. I mean, as long as you do it for whatever reasons you're doing it for. I mean, I guess so, man. I mean, I don't have to. I can't say no. I think so. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because you know, just to give you a brief history on the Thanksgiving, it was the slaughter of the 700 million North American and Taino Indians that the so-called Pilgrims came over. There wasn't nothing peace about it. It wasn't breaking no bread. It was the slaughter and takeover of America. Because they was the original indigenous people here.
Yep.
And what the schools don't teach or what they don't tell us is that America was taken.
Yep.
It wasn't no agreement. It was taken by our oppressors. So with that question, I'm gonna ask: do you think North American Indians that are here today should celebrate Thanksgiving?
I mean, I don't feel like I have any right to tell them not to. You know what I mean? If they want to just be with their family again, I mean, as far as to what the tradition is, that's something else. But if North American Indian wants to celebrate Thanksgiving, who am I to tell them not to, or that they can't? You know. But as long as they know, then by all means, more power for them, whatever.
Okay. And given what was told to you, will you continue to celebrate Thanksgiving?
Yeah, like I was telling my man over there, the holiday itself don't mean nothing to me. It's just Turkey Day. I call it Turkey Day. It's just eating. I don't celebrate. I don't decorate. None of that stuff. No Christopher Columbus. I don't acknowledge none of that. It's just a day where my peoples get together and they say Happy Thanksgiving. I just say what up, and you know, I'm just there to eat. That's it. I do not celebrate the holiday because I understand the origin of it. You know, they came over, like you said, fucking wiped out a whole bunch of them in a matter of shit, less than a year, you know, just with trading blankets that were infected, with all that stuff. And
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more question. Do you think our children should be taught the truth about Thanksgiving at home and in school?
Yes, definitely, because it's kind of oxymoron, like I said. In elementary and middle school, we're taught, you know, that Christopher Columbus discovered America and all this other stuff. But then when you get to high school, it starts to change. And when you hit college, the professor tells you, no, that's not what happened. And it's kind of just like, it's really pointless. So yeah, I think the kids do need to be taught the harsh part of it, the reality of it. They came over, slaughtered us, there was nothing peaceful and uniting about it. It's all misleading.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that, Hector.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate your time.
Yes,
Brother,
sir.
you got a flyer? Your brothers, your ancestors are my ancestors. So, the next question I'm going to ask you is, do you think, given what is given to you, do you think that's something that we should celebrate?
with a history like that, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay. All right.
Like if that's the actual history, or it's not something that like should let the people be blinded by. People shouldn't be blinded by them, things like that. If that's the case.
Okay. And okay. Okay. Now, knowing what you know, would you still celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, knowing that it was the slaughter of your ancestors?
The thing is that like I personally wouldn't celebrate it if it's like it's not the type of history that's behind it. But like I don't know if like others would listen. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom and like other family members, because I have a really big family. But like convincing them of like an actual truth behind a holiday, there's gonna be some ignorance towards people. You know what I'm saying? So it's a hard thing to do.
Okay. And one more question: should our children be taught the truth about Thanksgiving in schools?
Yeah.
Should we be taught at home and school?
Yeah, because the more truth like is being revealed, you know what I'm saying, the more aware like, the future of the world is. You know what I'm saying? And now like, that people are being informed about things that are like, already happening, with the world and our president and all that stuff. A lot of stuff being revealed right now, It's a good thing to know, but also like I also see it like as a curse. You know what I'm saying? Because it could make people go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Seeing the truth behind things, knowing that like they grew up their whole lives, thinking of that holiday or like certain things that they thought that it was like in a different perspective. But now that they found out the truth, you know what I'm saying? Like it could mess with their heads. And that's the problem with the world. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny you mentioned the curse because you believe in the Bible or not?
I believe in the Bible, but at the same time, there's some contradictions, and I feel like it was handwritten by the Bible.
That's a misconception, but okay, that's what you feel. Because in the Bible, when you mention curse, in Deuteronomy 28, it talks about the curses that we all go through.
Yeah, I heard about Deuteronomy 28.
Yeah.
It was mentioned in Damn album, Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, but yeah.
I always wonder what that was.
Right. That's a breakdown on the curses that was going on the 12 tribes, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, which because of our foreparents, which we didn't follow the laws of the Bible, the Most High Church. That's the reason why our king, our brother, Christ, which is Yahweh Shai Mashiach in Hebrew, died for us. So we can be given another chance. Because the Lord wanted to do away with us as a complete nation. Right. But that's why we was given another chance. And that's why when he comes back, a lot of our people, 2/3 of our people are going to die because we're still not doing what we're supposed to. Right. A lot of us are celebrating, but the scriptures tell us don't celebrate or don't follow the customs of our oppressor, which is America and so forth. Have us in the conditions we're in.
Yeah, of course.
So, just to say that, I appreciate your time. What's your name, brother? Carlos. Carlos? Yeah. Carlos. But you got to find these classes, man, because there's a lot that we don't know because we all was once oblivious to what was going on. And the thing is, when I found out that Christ was black, that everybody in the Bible is black or Hispanic. My mom, because I had the same mentality. Yeah. The Bible was written by
it's like basically, it's like those people are like supposed to be the chosen ones.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, we all
know for God and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I kind of believe that in a way. You know what I'm saying? With all the racism happening and the police brutality.
But that's part of curses. When you go to Deuteronomy 28, like you get a King James Version Bible, when you grab a flyer and get in the class. Give the brother a flyer. And just check us out, because at the end of the day, time is short and it's going to be a big change. We want to be able to be on the right side of God when Christ comes back. Absolutely. You see what's going on now on the small scale. Stuff's going to happen on the big scale. But we got to get right with the Lord. You know what I mean? Follow my man. It just goes to show you that our people really don't know the true meaning of Thanksgiving. Like I brought up in the interview earlier, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. The Lord's chosen people, the 12 tribes, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because that's knowledge that's not being taught in these schools. So with that being said, understand that Thanksgiving is a day that we shall not celebrate. That is a disrespect to our ancestors. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshabrakatham. Yahweh Shema Alatham Bashem Yahshai. I'm priest and officer Kurai Ya'Allah.
Nobody tell you cry. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, sold packs, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword.